scholars and theologians suggest three possible meanings. They're all rather powerful, and I don't think any of them could be wrong. And a couple of them you'll find that John, the writer of the gospel, if you believe that he wrote Revelations, you'll see it all throughout his writings, this idea of the Lamb of God. So there's three possibilities. The first is that what John is announcing is this apocalyptic champion. John might have been using this picture, this metaphor of end times imagery. In ancient Jewish thought, this idea of a messianic champion or a messianic deliverer that comes and delivers God's people. We find this in Revelation 5, we find this in other parts of the Old Testament, where the lamb is a sacrifice but a victor, but this horned ram or lamb would take away or would deliver God's people. Possibility number two is that it is a provision of Abraham. The whole story of Abraham and Isaac, when they're walking up the mountain, they're building the place for the sacrifice. Isaac asks his father, "Father, where is the sacrifice?" And Abraham says to Isaac, "God will provide the lamb." And that's in Genesis chapter 22, and that's very specific. So it could be that John the Baptist is calling his listeners, predominantly Jewish, back to Genesis 22 and saying that this is the lamb, that Jesus is the lamb that Abraham prophesies to Isaac that God would provide. So here's the Lamb of God, the lamb that God provided from Genesis 22 and the promise of Abraham. Pretty good, strong possibility if you ask me. But I think my favorite possibility number three is that John the Baptizer is alluding to Jesus becoming the Passover lamb. So you know the story of the Passover lamb. The Passover lamb is the one that that families would have to pay for to have their sins forgiven. Their blood covered the sins, paid the price for their sins. And there was one perfect, unblemished Passover lamb that took away the sins of the entire nation of Israel. It was the last lamb that would be slain. It was the one where the high priest declared when the lamb was slain that it is finished. And Jesus tells us that he is now the Passover lamb, that he tells us with his broken body and his spilt blood that he is the forgiveness of sins. He is the Passover lamb. And so he becomes our forgiveness.